Hello out there. It's another episode of Policy Without Politics. And today we have a very interesting topic. It's a World Cup season. And we thought that why wouldn't we look at this topic that is so interesting, so contemporary, and that all of us believe in and have stakeholding in. We're talking about the World Cup, but looking at the results and the consequences, the outcome, apart from all the enjoyment we get from it, are you observing what we've observed? Are there policies around our football? Are there policies around our sports? There should be. And when I come back, me and my co-host, MCO, will discuss the policy around sports and dovetail it to the football, dovetail it to the World Cup, and break out the economics that surrounds it. Please stay tuned.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is another episode of Policy Without Politics. Dr. Ken, who is extremely passionate about football, has a bee in his bonnet about some of the World Cup results in the second round, knockout stage. And I do agree that there's policy ramifications, both country by country and Africa as a whole, that we can explore and see how we can move African football, among other things, forward.
Yes,
Dr. Ken.
Yes, I'm happy you said that. And of course, that is something I invest in terms of emotions a lot. Not because I love football the way any other side person would love it, but I understand the connections between football and economics, football and business, and how much opportunity and what it can generate in terms of its contribution to GDP, if properly planned, if properly structured and properly delivered. And the positive consequences are there. Look at the World Cup, for example. Why African teams struggling, especially at this stage when it matters? European teams have long figured out how to deal with the business end of football. African teams, apparently, from the results we have seen, have not figured out how to deal with the business end of football. That's conversation. If you don't deal with it, the consequences never fail. It will continue to be the same, and you will see the outcome over and over again. MCO, look at the problem areas. I think there's overconfidence there. I think there's lack of concentration, and I think there's indiscipline. And these are the things you get when there is no proper structure and when there's no policy driving it.
Yeah, but what exactly is bothering you? Is the 86-minute goals?
Yes, because it's not a coincidence, MCO. Look at this. Ivory Coast lost to Norway. Eden Haaland had to score in the 86 minutes. And the consequence of that goal knocked out Ivory Coast. DR Congo scored in 86 minutes. And it was Harry Kane that did that. Having have to come from behind. An African team was England. Yes. With Harry Kane. Yes. They came from behind, again, the 86 minutes.
Yes.
And then eventually won the game. Yesterday, Senegal did the same thing. 87th minute, Lukaku scored against Senegal, even though Senegal was 2 goals up. So it's not a coincidence. It's the business end of that game, 86 minutes, and it keeps happening. If we take our minds back, in 1998, I remember it was Roberto Baggio. Nigeria was leading until the 88th minute. Roberto Baggio, the same thing happened, and Nigeria lost that lead, and we lost that particular game, and we are knocked out of the round 16. So it's not a coincidence. You can see the trend. There's something happening with the business end of that enterprise.
Well, some of it is cultural. I remember some time ago, an American came to me with a brilliant idea to provide some services in Nigeria, and when they finished, sounded very good. I said, have you thought how you're going to manage success? And the American said, what do you mean? He was surprised. I said, in Nigeria, managing success is far more critical than managing the business. Because once something is successful, a lot of cultural things come in, overconfidence. Everybody wants to own it. You see Nigerian teams do well, and then when they get the semifinal, all the politicians start showing up and trying to own it. So we have this sense of overconfidence. We don't run through the tape. So that's why the 88th minute, 86th minute, up 2-0, they relaxed.
Yes, we've done it.
We've done it. And I think that we need to have a cultural shift where we see things to the end. We need to have a cultural shift where all the politicians don't claim ownership of something when it's not done yet, And so I think that that's part of what you're seeing in this World Cup.
Yeah, and if we take it to business,
Yes.
It's my passion to talk a lot about family businesses.
Yes.
Why you need to understand that the business doesn't have to end when the founder ends. Yeah, why you need to find a way to find succession around the business. How do you ring fence it? How do you future proof it? And how do you perpetuate that business? So if you take it to football, you find out that there's a correlation. African football, Nigerian businesses too die at the 86th minute. Don't you agree with me?
I agree. And I had an experience when I was at AMCON, when I was MD of AMCON. There was a very large airline that had debt problems that I felt were insurmountable. And I suggested to the owner who owned 100% of the business, as usual. I suggested to him, in front of the Minister of Aviation at the time, Osita Chidoka.
Okay.
And I said, let's convert this debt to equity. And he said, well, I don't agree with the valuation. His valuation was way on the moon. So I said, let's not argue about valuation. You pick your valuation. But 3 years from now, we'll do an IPO. Whatever the IPO price is, we'll then adjust.
Yes.
So if you are high, we'll adjust it. If you're low, we'll adjust it upwards. And he refused. The idea of giving up 100% ownership. He'd rather own 100% of what has turned to be nothing versus owning 60% of what could have been something. So we have, in many of our businesses, we are very reluctant to let go. Yeah. We're reluctant to let go to new investors, new blood, new ideas. And we don't seem to realize that 10% of $1 billion will always be more than 100% of 10 million.
Yeah. So
always.
Yeah. And I'm happy you use the word let go. Since we don't want to let go, what we should then hold on to is the ability to overcome indiscipline, ability to overcome overconfidence, and ability to overcome lack of focus. Because this is what cost us in football, it cost us in sports, and it's costing us in business. And how we perceive this platform and instrument called sports is very rural in my estimation. We still think that sports is physical education. The kind of people who are appointed to administer it, if you weigh their capabilities and qualifications as against people that are in other sectors that we perceive are more serious, you will see how much preeminence we give to that sector. I think sports is so serious an instrument. It's an instrument of national cohesion, instrument of national coordination. It can keep our young people busy, can provide jobs, and if well coordinated and developed, it even can be a national foreign instrument engagement platform for us. Because who are the most popular people today in Nigeria? They are footballers, the ex-footballers, the musicians.
I thought it was bankers.
You know, so who knows the banker also after Murtala Mohammed Airport? But just take Okocha. You are a renowned world-class banker, but after Murtala Mohammed Airport, who knows MCO?
Really?
Yeah.
And I thought I was very popular.
You are popular.
You burst my balloon.
No.
But on a serious note,
yes,
I believe sports, if it's not the third, it's probably the fourth largest business in the US.
Yeah.
Sports and entertainment is a huge business.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, a lot of Nigerians want to go and build cars or assemble cars. But I think if we focus on sports and entertainment and we're good at
it, yeah.
I think that, and we reform NFF.
Yeah.
You and I talked partially about starting a football league, and you discouraged me because you said NFF will be a huge stumbling block.
Yes.
So
and the policy around it. We have to relook that
Let's
policy.
look at this World Cup and say we could have done better.
Yes.
And we can do better with a cultural shift and better organization.
Yes. We let's not forget, because in a week or two, we in Nigeria will forget. People in West Africa will forget, and we'll move on. And in the next 4 years, what happened in 1976 repeats itself. What is going on is that we don't plan. And if you fail to plan, you have failed.
Plan to fail. But to conclude,
yes,
let's have a policy. Let me give you a policy.
Okay.
Anytime Nigeria, with our 200 million people and our great players all over the world, does not qualify for a major tournament, the entire board of NFF should be sacked. Let's make it a policy.
Yes. What of the minister supervising NFA?
Well, maybe him too. Uh-huh.
Yes, it's so important what we are talking. This is an instrument of development. Football is not just for the enjoyment that comes with it. That is the byproduct. There must be an upstream conversation around this. There must be some strategy, and it's connected to our national policy on development. It should be connected to our national policy on foreign affairs, and connected to our national policy for everything that we do that will provide employment and keep our young people that are teeming in our population very busy. I think it's a very top topic. It's a lesson we need to learn. Nigerian business must survive the 86 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Ken.
It's a pleasure.